Every company says they're data-driven. But here's the uncomfortable question. If your dashboards vanish tomorrow, would your decisions actually get worse, or would business continue almost the same? Behind that question is a bigger challenge. Most organizations don't suffer from a lack of data. They suffer from a lack of decision clarity. They track plenty of metrics, but they can't consistently translate insight into action. And in a global business environment shaped by volatile supply chains, shifting regulations, and AI accelerating everything, the gap between knowing and doing is where market leaders are separated from everyone else. Welcome to the BI channel. I'm Rhea Calder. My work lives at the intersection of business intelligence, operating strategy, and the practical reality of how decisions get made inside organizations. I'm not here to sell you a tool. I'm here to help you build a clear line from data to decisions, especially when the stakes are high and the environment is changing fast. Today's episode is about building a BI culture that actually works, one where analytics doesn't just report on the business, it actively improves it. To talk about BI culture, we have to talk about how decisions work in different parts of the world, because a strategy that succeeds in one region can fall apart in another. In the United States, the push for speed is constant. Teams want real-time dashboards, rapid experimentation, and quick pivots. That's an advantage, but it also creates a specific failure mode. Decisions made too fast, based on incomplete context, with dashboards acting like a false sense of certainty. You'll often see multiple versions of the metric floating around, revenue in one dashboard, net revenue in another, because speed wins over standardization. In Europe, the story is often more about governance and trust. Regulations like GDPR raise the bar on what can be collected, how it's used, and how it's explained. This tends to produce stronger discipline around data lineage and privacy by design, which is good. The challenge is that the governance layer can become so heavy that teams bypass it, exporting spreadsheets and recreating shadow analytics. Trust erodes, and so does speed. Across Asia, you often see high adoption of digital platforms and extremely competitive consumer markets. Companies may run sophisticated analytics, especially in e-commerce, logistics, and fintech. Yet decisions can still be constrained by hierarchy. That creates a dynamic where dashboards exist, but the right decision is still the one that aligns with senior expectations unless there's a structured way to disagree using evidence. In Africa, the context is frequently about constraints and creativity. Data infrastructure can be uneven, and industries may rely on mobile-first ecosystems. That forces a focus on pragmatic measurement. What can we track reliably, and how do we make decisions with partial data? BI maturity looks different here, sometimes less polished, but surprisingly effective when it's tied to operational realities. In Latin America, volatility is a common theme. Currency swings, inflation pressures, and fast-changing consumer behavior. BI has to be able to handle rapid adjustments and scenario thinking. The culture challenge is that when the macro environment is unstable, leaders can lean on instinct even more, treating analytics as optional rather than essential. So globally, the question isn't whether BI exists. It's whether BI is trusted, used, and built into the way decisions are made. Let's break down the core insight. A working BI culture is not a reporting culture. It's a decision culture. Here's the simplest definition I can offer. BI is valuable when it reduces decision risk and increases decision speed, without sacrificing decision quality. If your BI function produces beautiful dashboards that people admire but don't use to change behavior, that's not intelligence. That's decoration. So how do we build the bridge from data to decisions? I want to give you a framework with 4 parts. Think of it as the D.A.R.E loop. Define, align, review, execute. First, define the decisions. Most BI efforts begin with data. What can we measure? The better starting point is, what decisions are we trying to improve? Pricing decisions, inventory decisions, hiring decisions, credit decisions, fraud decisions, customer retention decisions. When you define the decision, you can define what better means. Faster, more accurate, more consistent, more compliant, more profitable. Second, align on definitions and incentives. This is where BI culture either becomes real or becomes a mess. Alignment means agreeing on what metrics mean, how they're calculated, and which behaviors they're supposed to drive. And incentives matter because people optimize what they're rewarded for. A classic example: a sales team rewarded on booked revenue may push deals that churn quickly. A customer success team rewarded on retention fights those deals. Both teams may have dashboards. Both teams may be data-driven. But they're steering in different directions. In retail, you might see marketing rewarded for customer acquisition volume while finance worries about contribution margin. In manufacturing, operations may chase throughput while quality teams chase yield. The BI culture fails when metrics turn into weapons. Third, review with a cadence. A BI culture needs rhythm. Weekly operating reviews, monthly performance reviews, quarterly strategy reviews. But here's the key: reviews must be decision-oriented, not presentation-oriented. If meetings are dominated by walking through the slides, you're not reviewing, you're narrating. A decision-oriented review starts with questions like, what changed? Why did it change? So what? What decision do we need to make now? Who owns it? And when will we know if it worked? Fourth, execute, then learn. This is the part many teams forget. BI doesn't end at insight. It ends when the organization acts and then measures whether that action worked. So you need closed-loop measurement. Track the decision, the action taken, and the outcome. This is where experimentation fits in. Not every company needs full A/B testing everywhere, but every company needs a learning system. Now let's make this real with 2 examples. Example 1. A consumer subscription business. They want to reduce churn. BI builds a churn dashboard. It shows churn rising, broken down by cohort and country. Everyone nods. But churn doesn't fall, because the dashboard only answers what happened, not what are we going to do. A decision culture reframes it. What churn decisions do we control? Maybe onboarding flows, pricing changes, customer support staffing, product reliability. Then the team chooses an action. Improve onboarding for a high-risk cohort. They define success metrics: activation rate, early engagement, 30-day retention. They run it in 2 markets first, say, the UK and Mexico, because customer expectations differ. They review results weekly and decide whether to scale. Now BI is driving decisions, not just describing the problem. Example 2. A global manufacturer. They track on-time delivery, inventory turns, and downtime. All common KPIs. But the critical decision might be, when demand shifts, do we prioritize speed, cost, or service level? In the US, customers may pay for speed. In parts of Europe, service commitments and contracts may be stricter. In Asia, supplier ecosystems may enable faster reconfiguration. In Africa, logistics constraints might shape what's even feasible. A BI culture supports scenario decisions. If we shift production from plant A to plant B, what happens to lead times, costs, and quality risk across regions? That's strategic intelligence, not just a dashboard. The deeper point here is that BI culture is social. It's not a feature you install. It's a set of agreements. What do we measure? What do we believe? What do we do when the numbers disagree with our intuition? And who gets to challenge whom, with evidence? Let's move into practical application. If you want to improve your BI culture starting this week, here are 5 steps you can actually execute. Step 1. Build a decision inventory. List the recurring decisions that drive performance in your team or business unit. Not we manage revenue, but we decide pricing tiers, we decide which leads get routed to senior representatives, we decide reorder points, we decide which markets get budget. Then rank them by impact and frequency. High impact plus high frequency decisions are your best targets for BI. Step 2. Assign a single owner to each metric. Not a committee, a person. Their responsibility is definition, calculation logic, and documentation. This is how you eliminate the 2 versions of truth problem. Step 3. Choose a small set of decision metrics and pair them with outcome metrics. Decision metrics are what you steer with. Outcome metrics are what you ultimately care about. For example, in sales, decision metric could be speed to lead. Outcome metric could be conversion rate and churn-adjusted revenue. In product, decision metric could be feature adoption in a target segment. Outcome metric could be retention or net revenue retention. In operations, decision metric could be schedule adherence. Outcome metric could be on-time delivery and cost per unit. If you only track outcomes, you learn too late. If you only track decision metrics, you might optimize the wrong thing. Step 4. Enforce a review discipline with 3 questions. Every recurring BI meeting should answer: what decision are we making? What evidence supports it? What would change our mind? That last one matters more than it sounds. If nothing would change your mind, you're not using BI, you're using BI as a prop. Step 5. Create a bias check for common pitfalls. Here are the ones I see globally: vanity metrics, numbers that look impressive but don't change decisions. Local optimization, one team wins their metric while the business loses. Data theater, beautiful visuals with unclear actions. Overconfidence in precision, treating estimates as facts, especially with messy or incomplete data. And the big one, ignoring context. A KPI can mean different things in different markets. Now, a few metrics you can track to gauge whether BI culture is improving: decision cycle time, how long it takes to go from signal to action. Adoption rate, how many decisions reference a shared metric source rather than ad hoc spreadsheets. Metric consistency, how often leaders argue about definitions instead of decisions. Outcome follow-through, how many initiatives include a measurement plan and a post-review. If you improve these, you'll feel it. Meetings get shorter. Fewer debates go in circles. Teams start learning faster than the environment is changing. Let's look ahead 3 to 5 years, because BI culture is about to be pressured and upgraded by AI. First, we'll see more automated insight generation. Instead of analysts manually producing weekly decks, systems will detect anomalies, explain drivers, and propose likely causes. That's powerful, but it changes the skill needed inside organizations. People must learn to interrogate machine-generated explanations. Why does the model think that? Becomes a routine question. Second, decision automation will expand. In some domains, fraud detection, ad bidding, supply chain replenishment, automation already makes many decisions faster than humans can. But the next wave is hybrid. AI recommends, humans approve. The cultural question becomes, when do we trust the recommendation, and when do we override it? If you don't define that clearly, you get 2 bad outcomes. Humans rubber stamp bad recommendations, or humans ignore good ones. Third, governance will become a competitive advantage, not just compliance. In Europe, this is already visible. Explainability, consent, and auditability aren't optional. As AI expands, more regions will adopt their own versions of these requirements. Companies that can prove where data came from, how a metric is computed, and why a recommendation was made will move faster, not slower, because they won't get stuck in internal trust debates. Fourth, global BI will become more localized. This sounds contradictory, but it isn't. Standardized definitions will still matter, yet interpretation will be market-specific. A churn signal in one country may mean pricing mismatch. In another, it may mean service reliability. AI can help detect these patterns, but leadership must be willing to let markets differ while staying aligned on enterprise goals. So here are 3 scenarios to consider. Scenario 1, AI everywhere, trust nowhere. Tools proliferate, but no one agrees what to believe. Decision quality declines. Scenario 2, centralized control. Great governance, slow innovation. Local teams feel blocked. Scenario 3, the target, federated intelligence. Shared standards, local flexibility, and a closed-loop learning system. That's the organization that turns AI into advantage. The future isn't just about smarter models. It's about smarter decision systems. Let's lock in the key takeaways. 1. BI culture is a decision culture. If insights don't change actions, BI isn't delivering value. 2. Start with decisions, not dashboards. Define the decisions you want to improve, then build measurement around them. 3. Alignment is everything. Metric definitions, incentives, and review cadence. Without it, metrics become weapons or decorations. 4. Create a closed loop, insight to action to outcome. Learning is the product. 5. AI will amplify whatever culture you already have. If your decision system is unclear, AI makes confusion faster. If your decision system is sound, AI makes improvement faster. If this episode helped you think more clearly about how your organization uses data, follow the BI channel for more global insights on business intelligence, AI, and strategy. Share it with a colleague who lives in dashboards but still fights the same old decision battles. And if you want to challenge yourself this week, build that decision inventory, just one page, and see what changes. This is the BI channel, where data meets decisions.